women as innovators and leaders from local markets to major industries. Guided by this commitment, the collective progress, the government's role has been instrumental in setting policies that foster economic inclusion and development. And on that note, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome for today's keynote address the Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Julde Jallow. Please stand as we welcome him to the stage.
Thank you very much. Kindly sit down, please. Thank you very much, the organizers. I see that you have a very young picture of the Vice President on the screen. And I think I've grown older than that. Thank you. Honorable Minister, Honorable Ministers, visiting ministers from other African countries, our prime and prized tourists to Sierra Leone, ministers of government, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, delegates from across Africa, as already highlighted by the minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first, on behalf of His Excellency the President, the government and the people of Sierra Leone, I want to formally welcome our guests to Freetown, Sierra Leone, and more importantly, to thank them very much for taking time to travel to this our beautiful country. You see, when you have the opportunity to speak after an elegant speech by an elegant minister, I think my opportunity here will be to highlight government commitment. But more importantly, I must say, Honorable Minister, that I feel very honored to deliver a statement at the first Women in Tourism Regional Congress hosted here in Sierra Leone. And I want to use this opportunity to thank you and to thank the Secretary General of UN Tourism, the Secretariat, and our guests for accepting to choose Freetown as the host to this very, very important event. Let me also take the opportunity on behalf of His Excellency the President to thank the Honorable Minister of Tourism and the team, the entire ministry, for bringing such high-profile tourists to Freetown and also to organize such a beautiful event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you can see and feeling over the years, the tourism sector has seen massive transformation. And I have to link this back that when we took over in 2018, we had an overwhelming social, democratic development aspiration manifesto, meaning that as a government, we believe that human capital development should be the pathway. So we took so much of our money, our resources, and place them in the social sector, in education, in health. But at the same time, we realized that for you to continue to support the social sector, you have to unleash the potential of the productive sector. Meaning that you have to look for very innovative ways to generate resources, to have money to spend in the social sector. So, His Excellency instructed us that whatever entry point, whatever potential areas you think we can generate additional revenue expand that sector and make it feel as if it is the engine for development. Like the Minister of Tourism just said, we identify tourism as one of those sectors for economic diversification because we believe that with tourism, you can bring enormous economic benefits. You will have the opportunity to create jobs, and more importantly, you'll be able to unleash the potential of the hospitality industry, entertainment, and cultural heritage. As you can see, tourism then stood out as one of the key driving sectors that we want to bolster the revenue and job opportunities of this country. So I must say today, when you look at the Big Five, you see that tourism stands as a key enabler to the Big Five initiative of His Excellency the President. But I must say, like previous speakers before me, at the core of the ecotourism system, of the ecosystem, tourism ecosystem, women plays a pivotal role. Women are involved and very active in the entire tourism ecosystem chain, from consumers to contributors. They are mostly involved in small and medium-sized enterprises. They play a pivotal role in the promotion of local cultures. These involvements create job opportunities and bolster the economy. But I believe as a government and as governments in Africa, we can do more to support them. That is why over the years, as a government, we realize the potential of women, capacity to contribute to development. It was in that spirit that we passed the Gender Empowerment, the Gender Equality and Women Empowerment Act, essentially to achieve the following. One, increase women representation, both along nominative and elective models, and more importantly, pass laws to enable them access finance. The expectation of the GIBI Act is that these progressive actions will impact women's role and active participation in all sectors, including tourism. In addition, as a government, we took progressive steps to expand opportunities in the tourism sector. You all can see and feel the beauty of the new airport. Over the years, we have increased the number of people traveling to Sierra Leone. We have also dedicated resources to the development of tourist sites, and we have embarked on several targeted training aimed at building the capacity of women in that sector. More importantly, successive ministers are now, including our dynamic minister in the tourism ministry, have expanded the outreach, both in country and out of country. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate her to serve as the chair of the Africa Committee on UN Tourism. Congratulations, Madam Minister. And all what I've outlined, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is captured in the 10-year National Strategic Tourism Plan. But when you look at the theme for the Regional Congress, beyond empowerment to education, innovation, and financing access, speaks largely to the challenges, but more importantly, to the opportunities for women in the tourism sector. That the best way to transitioning out of empowerment is through education, which means providing the skill set needed to function adequately, progressively, and sustainably in the sector. And then the critical elements that support those skill sets, that allow women to be independent and then be able to provide sustained development. I must tell you, if you look at the dictionary definition of empowerment, it's a process. And more importantly, empowerment is like giving power and authorities to somebody. What this conference is saying, that we have to transition beyond just giving authority and power to women. We have to look at the state of being, opportunities for women, and they have identified 3 critical elements that are vital to that. One is innovation. The first one is education, like I said, the skill set. The second one is innovation, which means we all know today that innovation and technology provides endless opportunities for small and medium businesses, and that we have to support them. Women that are in tourism business with innovation to save costs and also to improve the operational efficiency of their business. The third one, which is the most critical one, that is finance. You see, the tourism sector is a service-driven sector. Unlike other productive sectors, it takes time to grow and involve huge de-risking financing. Most times in Africa, and particularly in the West African sub-region, young, small and medium enterprises struggle very hard to access financing. Today, most of our banks, they function in the logic of finance banking instead of project financing. They take pleasure in sitting around and waiting to buy government bonds, so when they can get interest from government bonds, they are no longer interested to support small and medium-term businesses. We have to change that culture. We have to encourage our banks, and government will need to take proactive steps to ensure that we design models, that financing models that will be able to respond to both the challenges and the opportunities in the tourism sector. You see, in addition to all of this, tourism strives within a viable ecosystem. And I'm very pleased that today we are talking about regional-wide dynamics, that we are expanding the frontiers of tourism beyond just individual countries, because there are shared regional opportunities and infrastructure that can help tourism. I will name a few. First, transportation. Transportation is vital to the tourism sector. And we want to see a situation where regional institutions can support regional organizations, economic organizations like ECOWAS, like NEPA, like the AU, to invest in shared transportation. When you invest in shared transportation, you are able to lower the cost of transport, and then you are able to enhance connectivity, not only by air, but connectivity by road. Today, unlike before, it takes you about 4 hours to go to Conakry, and about 6 hours plus to go to Monrovia. But the connecting end between Monrovia and Côte d'Ivoire is still very rocky. You can imagine if you have an highway connecting Sierra Leone to Côte d'Ivoire and onward to Ghana, it will allow people to be able to move freely. The second other shared infrastructure and opportunity that is vital for the tourism sector is energy. Energy is a serious challenge in the West African sub-region. I must say this. When we took over in 2018, energy access in this country was 16%. Most of the hospitality structures that you see around Aberdeen, we are never connected to the grid. We started connecting them to the grid around 2019, 2020, and 2021. From 16% as a government, we have managed to expand that to 40% today. But yet still, the demand for electricity is growing. Because when you give more light, when you give light, people ask for more light. We are working very hard to expand that. And when you look at where we buy electricity today, we buy electricity through the CLSG line. That is the 1,300 kilometer line from Cote d'Ivoire. And 4 countries are connected to that international line. That is Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. This kind of regional infrastructure, if they are developed, can support the tourism sector immensely. Already I was in Cote d'Ivoire 2 weeks ago. We have started discussions with the Ivorian government to develop an MCC regional compact that will focus essentially on 3 things. 1, to strengthen the energy link within the 3 countries, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Cote d'Ivoire, and to enhance data connectivity between the 3 countries, and more importantly, to build the road network between Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire. I'm very happy that instruction has been given in Cote d'Ivoire, and we are already working on that. Data is very key. Thank you very much. Like I always say, we don't have opportunity to meet a lot of people all the time. So when I see people, I have to tell you what my government is doing. So that in 2028, you can vote for me again. You can vote for the greatest NPP party. Data is very important. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if we talk about innovation, it means you have to have high-level connectivity. So we are working on that. And like I told you, we have to increase connectivity. We have to increase access to data, because you can't talk about innovation if you don't have data. The other area that is critical in terms of regional-wide dynamics is free movement. A couple of years ago, in 2018, when I started talking about Sierra Leone being a visa-free country, people thought it was a story. Today, people can secure visa online and come to Freetown. And yet still, there are huge challenges within the continent. We are in Africa, we still need visa to travel. I think one of the interesting discussions will be how to expand the space for free movement and get the AU and other countries to expand. That will involve encouraging African countries, African citizens to travel to all of these countries without visa. The other part is the hospitality industry. Tourism is connected, organically or otherwise, to the hospitality industry. And most times the hospitality industry, not only in Sierra Leone but across the continent, are under immense stress to secure financing, like I've just said. We need special government intervention to create a corridor that will allow them to do business and thrive in the business that they do. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to share with you some of these shared regional opportunities and infrastructure that could contribute to building a viable ecosystem that will allow countries, because most times people believe that tourists will only come from Europe and America. Tourists can come from other African countries as well. We just need to build infrastructure and invest in those infrastructure. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when you have shared infrastructures that I have just outlined, we lower the cost of the key enablers. We need regional banks to drive this vision. We have big regional banks, and government will take the proactive step to engage them. Already we are engaging the banks in Sierra Leone to provide special financing window for people that are interested in agriculture. And I think that needs to be extended to the tourism sector. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is in this spirit that our government supports the implementation of the UN Tourism Agenda for Africa. I see unending opportunities for women in tourism. A congress of this nature speaks volume, and at this stage, I can only wish you a fruitful congress, and thank you for coming to Freetown, and thank you all the participants for being part of a very fantastic and elegant congress. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. Please permit me, whilst we have you on stage, to invite Ms. Elsker Granco and the Honorable Minister Nabila Tunis to present the 100 scholarships we're receiving from UN Tourism. We're receiving 50 scholarships for a course in tourism industry management and 50 scholarships for international tourism and travel law. Please put your hands together as we do the handing over. Thank you very much. And on this note, I am also pleased to invite on stage Mr. Kojo Benton Williams, the UN Tourism Senior Communications Expert and Editor-in-Chief, presenting the front cover of Voyage Afrique, special edition featuring Sierra Leone as a tourism destination.
Hein? Voilà.
All right, at this point, I'll invite delegates. We have ministers and deputy ministers from Africa, present heads of delegations, high-level representatives for an official photo, followed by a tour of the exhibition. Please come up to the stage for a photo session if you are a delegate, high-level representative.